thing in front of me. I'm standing up.
All right, we're back. This is either 78 part 2 or 79. We'll figure that out later.
It's the DLC.
Yeah,
It's the DLC of episode 78. There you go.
Yeah, it is. Oh my god. So yeah, Last of Us episode 7.
Which was almost a one-to-one shot of the Left Behind DLC.
To both its benefits and detriments.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about this. That's why we started recording so fast. I'm not the biggest fan of Left Behind. I actually think my opinion of it in the video game is this. I find it completely unnecessary to the story of Last of Us because we actually don't need to know how Ellie got bit. Because I almost view that as it's not important. What's important is yes, she's bit. It's up to Joel and whoever the side character he's tagging along with at the level to get her from point A to point B.
Yeah.
All right, we're restarting.
Well,
way to go, Max. Ruined it for everybody.
Well, man. So, any of you others guys have any big problems with this one, like mine, or what?
You still haven't said what your problem was.
So, I know it's hard to talk about because it's a weird thing, and obviously some people look at this differently than I do. But I'm a little more passionate than others. But when you portray fighting games in media,
how did I know it was going to be about the fuck?
I knew it was going to be about
fucked.
Mortal Kombat.
They did nothing right. Nothing was correct about that.
That's the crux of the episode. We nailed
it,
guys.
Oh my god!
Yeah, we fucking nailed
hell! How did you learn the fatalities, you stupid Ben? Also, how the fuck do you They were doing attacks and hitting buttons, and the shit was not happening on the screen. Fuck you. Fucking immersion shattered.
Well, that's why.
Yeah,
That's why in the DLC there was a non-functional machine, and it was all in Ellie's imagination.
Which was stupid, but we'll get.
I mean, but it would have been better at least, because then you can't really say that it's flawed. It's just whatever.
It would be really strange to see how they would portray that actual thing from Left Behind. Because honestly, joking aside, that was actually my favorite thing from the Left Behind thing. Was Ellie's imagination taking over for the thing, and you had to basically do those inputs with health bars and shit. It was really cute. Here's the thing. I do agree with you, Wyatt, that story-wise, it's really pointless to the story of The Last of Us. Is it a problem with The Last of Us? Well, here's the thing. I don't think it's a problem with The Last of Us game because it's an addition to the game.
Yeah, you have to go to a completely separate thing just to even boot it up.
Yeah, you don't need it to play The Last of Us. But the problem here is that it's included in the show.
Yeah, that's what's so fucking weird about it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a small theory on they're going to end up. I'm hoping maybe they use this as part of the conversation that I was complaining they weren't having in the shots that they showed us, where they do make up for their argument, and they talk about who Ellie has lost. Because if they do that, then showing the emotional connection that she had to someone and the only person she actually really knew then is kind of a valid way to use it, but we have to see if they actually utilize talking about what happened as a way for them to fix things.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the DLC also kind of spliced with a section where Ellie is out looking for supplies to fix Joel?
Yes.
Yeah, the reason why
it's supposed to bridge fall and winter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what she's doing is she goes into a mall and she finds a med kit, and that triggers the memory, and that's where the DLC occurs.
Yes.
Okay, but
it's also in a
I like that better because it makes more sense with the payoff at the end of her coming back with supplies to fix Joel. That makes more sense.
it definitely makes more sense in the game than it did here, where it was just a flashback.
Yeah,
I'm wondering
it
if
was
they
too
just didn't want to
jarring.
use the. I don't think it is jarring though. Like having her run to show quick scenes of her searching the house, maybe another house nearby to try to find something, and then seeing a large building slightly in the distance, being the mall, running there to see if there's medical supplies.
Yeah, that's fine. I was more talking about it's jarring that how it's functional within the story is she's about to go to the door, then we have the
Yeah,
entire flashbacks.
narratively, it's jarring.
Narratively in the game, yeah, it's a flashbang when they actually apply the flashback, but there's the chance where they could have had her look at a med kit and then be like, ah.
So, if all this is happening in real time, I'm just like she's just standing there for half an hour. Joel's just bleeding on the ground. No, I know.
On.
No, I'm fine. I'm memeing for a
You
second.
know how memories work. Like, chill.
They can happen on the walk back.
And that can happen in an instant. Like, you don't remember everything at like one to
Right.
one time scale.
Like I said, I'm memeing.
Yeah. But I mean, like, like, because she didn't hit, like, you don't hit buttons when you do fatalities. You only hit the one button, and you hear Riley hit like buttons multiple times. Like, it's why would they do it that way? And like, how the fuck did she learn the fatalities? Like, it's not.
I thought fatalities were combos.
No, they're not combos. They're directional inputs into.
Yeah, then you hit the.
Yeah,
it's like entering in a cheat code, but the cheat code is just that they do a fancy finisher.
Oh, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start.
That's Konami.
That's the kind of thing, yeah.
It's only 4 inputs, usually, and then
I've
the
not
general
played Mortal
idea.
Kombat.
It is a code like that. It's
and it's also dependent on how far away your character is from the other characters. Some characters have to be close for their fatalities, kind of like what Baraka did when Ellie was playing as him. But like some people have to be further away.
You're really locked in on this.
How funny!
Thing.
How funny would it have been if
because
instead...
like, and Ellie is like not touching her joystick because she said use the joystick, and like she's able to do a Raiden like a lightning ball, and it's like that's not how that works.
No, imagine she's doing the fatality, and because it's Mortal Kombat 2, I think friendships were a thing by then, right? Or was that 3?
Friendships were in 2.
Yeah, so she accidentally does some friendship, and it's just like, oh, lame.
Right.
I just think it's funny that the people who made the show literally made a video game. So the idea of them just like, oh, it's video game stuff, who cares, is like retarded.
Exactly. It's stupid. I'm like, you're gonna do it for like the most popular video game. You need to do it fucking right. You need to come at me correctly.
They didn't play Minecraft.
No. Most popular fighting game is what I'm gonna say.
Oh, they didn't play Tetris.
I mean, have you played Tetris 99? That shit does get pretty raw.
Yeah, I was talking about Tetris 2.
The
Shut up.
Is that the one where Ubisoft gave it an open world?
There's this weird. So like, this is weird because like, the criticism. Okay, so any criticism we have towards this episode can be also levied at the game. So for the sake of posterity and not having to bring it up, talking about is directly to the show, even if it is an adaptation. So the idea of turning on a whole fucking mall and then her going, it's like a bunker, no lights will come out, and it's like, how do you know that?
Not to mention, like, we clearly see like an open ceiling.
The lights would come out the ceiling, but also she knows that because she's been living there. That does get revealed.
It does get revealed, but like, there's no way you can know that every little aspect of this is not being like
broadcast.
And like, even if you could autistically do that, I don't believe you. Like, you know what I mean? You'd have to show that there's like
you're one person versus a mall.
Yeah. Like a mall that's like falling apart. Like it's a weird thing because, like I said, it's I'm not gonna add the caveat, but yeah, it's a weird thing to like make a plot point, and then
they also shortened the attack sequence. Before it was a horde.
Yeah, it was a whole horde that you had to like run away from. It was pretty horde.
And they like took out a couple and then started running when they realized there was more than there was bullets in the mag.
Say again?
Yeah, I think also waking up that clicker, that to me felt very odd because it's like,
Not a
or
clicker.
It was not a clicker. Not all of them are clickers. There's some of them are just called runners.
I thought by the time you have the
He still had an eye showing.
The whole idea of clickers is that their faces are so fucking.
so what is
that they're
okay.
not like they're actually like they don't look like people anymore. They look like aliens.
That's fair. What are you by that stage, or do you like a
Just a runner.
That's just a runner. He was turning into a tree, but he got woken up before the full transformation.
Which is weird that he didn't get woken up before.
No, that's
Yeah,
that's
a
the
little
point.
strange.
That's the point I was gonna
Like,
make before that.
like,
So it's weird that Riley's been hanging out making all this noise, and that
she's clearly
that
playing Mortal
person's
Kombat
just
enough to learn the fatalities like the default way. So she's been
Yeah,
playing it for,
so-
she's been doing this for a while.
and that infected hasn't just gone.
Like I'm memeing, I was like half memeing, but it is like the implication. Like if you know what Mortal Kombat is and how she's doing things she's been there for a fucking while. If she doesn't have like a walkthrough to tell her all this shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not a
3
pitch.
weeks,
Weird-
according to the dialogue.
Is that what it was? 3 weeks?
Yeah, she's been gone 3 weeks, and
she's-
so the
Wow.
assumption is she's been there for 3 weeks.
Wow, just
She's
playing
been
Mortal
gone for
Kombat.
she's been gone for 3 weeks, but there has to be some time where she was recruited by the Fireflies. So let's say
It was the first night.
It was.
It was.
Yeah, I
She was
remember
grabbed
I
on her way
didn't-
back.
Oh shit! I did miss that.
Excuse
Huh.
me.
My bad. I'm kind of glossing over because I also don't really care about this DLC either. But
I was very neutral with the DLC. I think it's interesting they chose to do a 1-to-1 almost for the DLC, changing out like 3 items that don't matter. I did like that the printer in the photo booth didn't work, and it didn't work at the same rate as the real ones don't work.
yep. Nice little bit of a thing. It is funny that the Mortal Kombat machine is like pristine, but I guess if she's been there, she cleaned it up.
No, that thing would have fucking that
Like,
that CRT
I-
monitor would be fucking falling apart.
Something, but like yeah,
Uh,
the WB Mortal Kombat machine was like in pristine condition. It's like okay,
I'm willing to bet they probably got the Mortal Kombat machine from a collector or an arcade collection.
I don't care about it in a meta sense. I'm talking about like just in like the physical sense of.
But they probably weren't allowed to go near it really until the filmed.
True, but like it's not that difficult to recreate a arcade machine.
Oh, I know. I'm building one.
So you know, but like I said, it's just it's another like I guess nitpick thing, but like it's just weird how clean a lot of shit is, and this one in particular because HBO owns. Wait, I might be wrong on this. Does HBO owns Warner Brothers, right?
Something like that. Yeah. So they
Or Warner
have the
Brothers
rights.
Owns
Warner
HBO?
Brother-
Is it the other way around?
The point being is that
Warner
Warner
Brothers-
Brothers other owns Mortal Kombat, so they
Yeah,
were able
Warner
to get a
Warner
Mortal
Bros.
Kombat machine.
owns HBO.
Okay, so yeah, so that's how they got the Mortal Kombat thing. But because Mortal Kombat is another property, like it's basically the equivalent of showing a Pepsi logo. That this arcade machine is really pristine.
Also, it wasn't just the Mortal Kombat machine that was super clean. The pinball machines were cleaned up as well.
The pinball machines had some grind. The fucking Mortal Kombat
Pinball machines, the boards were really gross, actually.
yeah, dude, the fucking Mortal Kombat machine was pristine. Like,
Hold on, let me
that's
pull-
what I'm trying to say.
For a second, I was kind of hoping they were going to show a dance machine instead of Mortal
just
Kombat.
not working.
Well, that was the idea. She was playing Mortal Kombat in the
Yeah, I know, but I was kind of hoping it would be a really silly thing to change to make them make the dance scene happen in there on the machine in the really loud room where it makes sense.
Right. I guess that's fair.
The fact that the dancing and the music on the loudspeakers is what ended up attracting it, but the really loud yelling just woke it up. It always kind of was just like,
Yeah, and the awareness of the zombie is like highly like is a major problem. Like that's just an issue because like Riley should have been spotted a long time ago.
Oh, and then I had an issue that I realized when we started the last episode, and I forgot to mention it. Spray cans only last like they have a shelf life of like 15 years. How are they spray painting, or are they just like using regular paint and then just rolling it on?
I feel like that's a world building issue. Like it's like something that they just want to have the spray cans for the like anarchist like thing, even though it like logically makes no sense. Because isn't the gasoline the same way too? Like they should be
Gasoline is it does have a shelf life. The fact that there is still some gasoline, but he does describe it as basically water.
basically water. Yeah, I feel like that was a clever way to like incorporate that.
Yeah, that was at least better implemented than the fact that we know they used spray cans in game,
So
and they hardly ever show paint.
So the one they specifically showed, the attack from Mars machine, no, that thing is fucking clean as shit.
Post it.
Hold on. So here's the. Let me see if I can get a cleaner picture here.
Also, why did you post the clapping?
The puns.
Ah, oh, I did like that they didn't understand the screenshot.
Yeah, that's because yeah, why would they? I'm really upset. I'm really upset the fact that we never found out
There weren't more.
No, white alligator doesn't wear a vest.
Oh,
Like I'm never gonna know the answer to that, and I feel sad.
Wait, what do you call an alligator who wears a vest? You call him an investigator. Did you seriously not get that?
No.
Clearly.
I have a really stupid smile on my face because that's kind of funny.
Post another clapping meme.
That's the best.
They're I'm posting them right now. They're clean. Like the bottom seems a tiny bit grimy, but not nearly as grimy as they should fucking be.
so they use stainless steel. So the fact that since it hasn't been in fire, the stainless part won't really be rusted out. So that part makes sense. The lights working, not all of them are on. I'm going to assume they're probably all functional because it's a real machine that was upkept, but that's sheerly coincidence. It looks worn, but doesn't this one doesn't look pretty bad.
Not one that's been sitting idly by for 20 plus years.
Nah, it looks like one that's been opened up. The back panel for sure is. I'm not sure if it's a new print. Sorry, whatever collection this came out of, but it does look like it might be a remake of the original because so it looks a little too clean.
We all pinball fans here. I love me some pinball.
No, I fucking suck.
Pinball's fine. It's just
it doesn't matter if you're good. I love pinball. I'm not.
Yeah, but the problem is
I'm a rhythm game guy.
I was about to say, but the problem is like, yeah, if it's in an arcade, I'm not going for the pinball machine.
I
probably
very
going.
much love exclusively the Adams Family pinball machine.
Oh
Because
yeah, I
that
love
was
the
a
Adams Family pinball
couldn't give
machine.
a single fuck about it.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, like I said, it's I'll play pinball if there's nothing else around, but that's like I said, it's the low on the priority list. It's not getting my
Max and I are heading immediately to the Jurassic Park ride shooter.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Any light gun game, I'm immediately dragging all of you to.
No, but it's specifically one where you sit down in the booth, dude.
Yeah.
Those were so lit. And then there was another one. I think it was called like Call of Atlantis or whatever. It was this weird underwater one where you only had 4 shots, but like you fought like all these crazy like water creatures, and like I almost beat that game as a kid.
Ooh.
And I feel like it sticks to me to this day that I never finished it.
That or I dragged one of you guys to the Time Crisis machine.
The
one specifically with the pedal.
That's what Time Crisis is.
I thought the first one didn't.
No, that was like the draw to Time Crisis was the use of cover.
The first one didn't have co-op. That's the difference.
Oh, okay.
There wasn't 2 players, and like that was another thing that was like crazy about Time Crisis. Like being able to like having like separate bodies in like a game. Fuck, we're way off.
I was gonna say this is
just what are our problems with this fucking episode other than the goddamn video game?
Well,
so Galaga was over
source
in the corner.
content is probably the issue.
So like But the thing is, we can still criticize the show for it. That's what I was trying to say earlier. The kiss, uh, it feels a little strange.
She didn't ask her for her consent first.
Well, yeah, that one. But like, I don't know. Like, even in the DLC, that shit bothered me, and can't put my finger on why.
Because it feels forced as fuck.
And they feel like really young, but like I'm not a little girl, so I don't know when you would want to kiss your lesbian lover. But it
I mean,
just
they're
felt
young teens. That's when most people start kissing.
they're young teens, but like in the DLC, they're a lot younger. Or no, oh fuck, are they a lot younger? Am I
They're about
mixing
the
I was
that
same
up?
thinking like
age.
12 or 13.
Well, the DLC literally takes place like a week or month before the game actually starts, so it's not that much younger.
Yeah,
Because it's her getting bit, which is literally 3 weeks before.
Yeah, because she
Uh,
missed 3 weeks in the game. Hmm.
so yeah, she's like what, 13?
Yeah.
I was genuinely worried they were going to make the kiss more, like
Yes.
a lot of stuff did.
Oh yeah, they were just gonna go.
Because that's when I like it would have actually been really
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
that would get uncomfortable. Whereas like 13 years old having a first kiss, that seems fine.
The slightly awkward and response.
Yeah.
And thank God he actually muted.
What?
Yeah, them being slightly awkward about it, being kind of dodgy. Yeah, that's pretty on point for how my little sister described her first kiss.
So I think other than just our feelings on the overall material, like we don't really do we have
I
that
guess
many
my other
problems?
question would be like, why are we putting this right here?
Oh, it's yeah, it's very awkwardly
Technically
placed.
speaking, this is where it occurs in the game, but the implementation is probably the issue.
I think I can see what they were going for, where in the last episode and through this one as well, they are very heavily emphasizing what losing people really means to her. So it was brought up as a big thing, and we kind of get that she's lost people in the past. And I guess the idea is just to put a lot more weight and context behind that so that when it comes up again and how it feeds into the relationship between her and Joel and how they fill that gap for each other, that there's more weight to it. I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah, like I said, I'm hoping that it's a starting point for the discussion between Joel and Ellie, that they talk about what was said in that bedroom instead of just skipping it.
Yeah.
They
Not
could,
holding my breath.
I wouldn't either, but in all likelihood, they're not going to talk about it. But the implementation of, they could have made a very small change where they were in the mall, looked at a med kit, and were like, "Oh, cool, flashback time," instead of just closing the door and flashback.
Yeah, that would have been much better.
Yeah, I really like the idea of tying the memory to what's currently going on in the game as opposed to just we're doing a flashback because gay. Hooray.
I do think they were like genuinely trying to get across more than that, that there was more
Yeah,
there.
I don't think that was the point of the memory.
It is weird though that everybody's gay in the apocalypse, but well, there's something
It was one of the big selling points of the DLC.
the Did anybody appreciate the fact that we see a little bit of her training in this as compared
Yeah,
to like,
I liked that. Seeing the tiny bit of the Fedra side of things, and
I don't know, man. I would have been fine with that, but just like some of the dialogue it just comes across super fucking cringe. Where it's like, oh,
It's
these are Fedra fascist assholes. And it's like, are they though? Do you even know what that word fucking means?
the problem is though, like the problem, but like they do it in a clever way is they make it so that Ellie's actually completely on the Fedra side, and she calls out Riley for being like, you don't know that.
Let's also look at it the same way as the previous zone that was the QZ that was brought down. They talked the exact same way, and they turned into the same thing. And then we see this kind of argument of, but we could be better. We're not the adults that are sitting here just saying things. We can make changes when they're gone.
I was more talking about like the conversation Ellie was having with the officer man, basically the principal.
Yeah.
I think that was all right.
The fact that I have been sat down and had that exact conversation almost.
Yeah. Anybody else get that conversation? Because like, yeah, that hit a little home for me because I was a little asshole in school too.
Maybe I was just a hoodlum and
Yeah, I was a good kid. I didn't have any issues.
Neither did I.
okay, I don't
I was
buy
a
that
bad kid,
second
but I
one.
never got caught, so.
Okay, I rarely got caught, but when I did, it was a real mess up.
We got 2 bad kids, 2 good kids, and then Slur.
Checks out.
Well, he's Irish, so
So does anyone else have anything to say?
So was this the penultimate episode? Like, is next season or next episode the finale? Or...
No, the next episode is Winter with the Cannibals. It's got to be.
Well,
Unless
no,
we're-
no,
they
you
can't
know,
use
Might
it as
not
a
actually be
people.
called that. Winter with the Cannibals.
Yeah, Winter with Cannibals sounds like a really metal.
I
band.
thought you said it was a 9-episode season. or
Yeah, we're on
whatever.
7. We've got one more.
yeah, we got 2 episodes left.
Okay.
One more before the finale. So
It's
so
gonna
we've
be-
still, which means we get to see that rabbit get shot.
Oh no! Oh yeah, that's what I mentioned in the thing. It's like it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Like the way she delivered that, I was like, is that actually a reference to the stream thing?
No.
No, I'm pretty
No,
sure
if
that was
they're
the
gonna
one
do
was
that, it'll
said.
be next episode.
Dude, 'Cause, I don't know. Like I said, it would have been better if she like put her hand over her mouth or something like that to actually show off. But
Watch as it
I
happens.
don't-
I will edit that together. Just have her in the
like-
corner.
right. It is weird though because they're gonna cram everything that happens toward this in the latter half of the game into the last 2 episodes. Because
I don't know if they are. I think they're going to split the game into 2 parts.
No,
Really?
they're not.
No, season 2
They've
is
that-
already
that-
said. They've
I don't
already
think-
said season 1 follows the game entirely.
and then season
like,
2 is
it's-
going
it's
to
the
cover
whole of
game
it.
2.
Yep.
And I don't think there's enough game to make a whole other season. But I don't know
No.
if there's enough season to finish the game. That's my problem.
They probably needed like a 12 episodes, honestly, to just because it feels like the first few episodes took a lot of time kind of meandering and exploring shit we really didn't need. Like if you took all the major events of okay, I've got to split this out over the course of 10 episodes, you would want to kind of divide them evenly between those 10 episodes. They didn't really do that. So now
Yeah,
it's going
they
to feel like
kinda-
everything's rushed in the last 2 episodes. Because even all the stuff with Tommy in Jackson and all that felt really rushed by comparison to the game. Like the university felt really rushed, and it's like, yeah, you can make the argument that it's basically just a big combat section, but there's also a lot of dialogue in there too.
Yeah. The thing is, you don't have to have the dialogue in the university, but the problem is they didn't have the dialogue. That's actually the issue.
Right, like I'm fine with you putting it somewhere else, but you still need to have it.
Have to have it. Yeah, that's the problem.
It just feels like so much of this shit that's really important for like character building and motivation and stuff just happens off screen. Like when we were talking about how Ellie overheard them and it's like when, where, why, how. I guess she just did because plot needs to happen. Like how hard would it have been to just show her like I don't know, maybe she was walking down the stairs and she was putting like her dish in the sink or something and she happened to overhear them talking. I mean, anything like
Or do what they did in the show, but like show her actually like see them in the room. Because in the
Yeah.
show, we only see her walk down the street. She looks over to the right, and we don't see what she's looking at.
Yeah, anything just to connect those dots and be like, yeah, she
and now,
basically overheard them talking.
and shit. Now that I'm thinking about it, that means she overheard the last bit of the conversation and then booked it to the house, and then like was there waiting
to then read a journal. Like,
yeah. That means she was like, like running back so she can get in the position to be in.
Journal.
Or they could have shown Joel like meandering somewhere else to at least give that time.
Yeah, I know, but like the idea is like we see like just Joel walks back and she like rushed back to get into the position where she got the book in her hand or the diary in her hand.
I just feel like they're going to do the Last of Us 2 thing, and Joel and Ellie aren't going to have any meaningful conversations. She's just going to be a cunt towards him for no reason.
I feel like Joel might die in the end of this fucking season.
You think they're gonna circumvent?
No, I don't think Druckmann's going to take that W. Abby's got to get her revenge, man. Like, that's the whole motivation for her character.
That's literally the entire reason of the second game. Yeah. There's no second game without that revenge arc.
I know, but I'm saying.
Now, are we saying that's a bad thing?
That's true. But
I mean, from my perspective, no, but from his, yes.
Yeah, because then that just leads back into that basement every time.
Druckmann likes his Abby, so.
Can we get Tom Hardy as Abby at least? Can we at least have fun with it?
No.
No, because Druckmann can't fantasize about that.
He literally thinks this is like, Oscar worthy shit, dude. Like, he takes this very seriously.
Yeah. The difference between like video game mechanics too, because like Left Behind is a weird story thing, but I feel like mechanically it's fine because you just play as Ellie and you do like all that stuff. But like that's something that I say that like I don't think you can really convey that in like a show. Like all of the stuff.
Well, it's not the combat mechanics or the game mechanics.
No, it's literally fucking around. Like
I like the tie-in of connecting, like, she's going to this mall because she's looking for supplies to save Joel.
The narrative even in the DLC is stronger than the actual like what we saw.
Yeah, it's like you literally have a better story in what we get in the game, and it ties together and makes more sense than what we're presented here.
I was just talking about mechanically, like the stuff you do in the DLC. Like you and Riley are having like a contest who can break more windows and stuff like that. When you're in the photo booth, you decide what those like poses are and shit like that. I feel like that interactivity does a lot more to connect the player with the characters.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Because that's what I was trying to say earlier. Is that yeah, I don't really like the Left Behind DLC, but like as a character thing, in a video game sense, it's really good, and it's also juxtaposed with because the combat is interspersed in between the DLC. So
yeah,
it's you'll throw the bricks to the windows, and then you'll fight clickers. You'll be messing around in the photo booth, and then you'll be like fighting against scavengers. Like it's constantly jumping back and forth.
And then the last combat arena, there's both, which is why you just throw a brick and get a clicker to just attack the scavs.
Yeah, I'm set up. What the fuck? Who would have thought? So yeah, I don't know. This episode felt really weird and pointless. I'm sad that Bloodsport's daughter got killed. Yeah, that was driving me crazy. Did y'all do that, or is it just me? Whenever you see a face that you kind of recognize and you want to like pinpoint where it is.
Yes and no.
It's like I get the idea. It's like it's going against like immersion of the show, but like it's something that I do. And yeah,
I have a tendency to just try to absorb the content without taking into account the actors and their previous stuff.
That's fair. I feel like there's something else I want to talk about. Slayer, what did you think?
These two episodes together have both been, I think, pretty okay. But I do think they're both somewhat lacking in like just anything to really grab us and just pull us in. Like we're not really getting that full invested, except for like a few scenes here and there. Like I do think some of the dialogue that they do actually take the time and effort to have, the character interaction they do actually make a point to include, like everything between Tommy and Joel. It was a bit rushed. It was way shorter than it probably should have been, but you do get that. I think they pulled it off pretty well, but what Ninja was saying about how every time he sees those more serious moments with Joel, that all he sees is Pedro Pascal. I kind of get that a little bit. So yeah, there's just some level of immersion that I'm just not feeling.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I literally get more like I feel like the guy who does Tommy is like a better actor. Like cuz I can buy more of his portrayal, his emotional whatever than I do with Pedro. Like
Oh, I totally forgot something I was gonna bring up in the last episode. I really liked that like the second he sees Tommy, he immediately just shouts, and then the hug.
The embracing of the brothers. We didn't really talk about it, but yeah, it was a really nice scene. Like you get the idea.
No, we know what would have happened. He just shouted and they'd have fucking hit him in the back of the head with a gun.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up. You know, it's like he was basically still in custody.
That would have happened in the game.
Quiet, you want to attract people? Trying to hide, stay on the DL.
There's a DLC in like the prequel for Joel, and he's shopping with Sarah, and like he's just like, oh look, crackers! I want to get crackers for our soup tonight, and it's like, shut up! Like a military man comes out and butts him in the head with a rifle.
It just shows Joel doing some contract work, pouring some concrete. Hey Tommy, you see this? Shut up!
Just a military guy comes out of nowhere and just hits him in the head with a rifle.
The terrorists might hear you.
The end of the DLC is Tommy's like, man, if you get hit in the head a couple more times, you might have like a really severe concussion.
I think I've already got one, Tommy. Shut up!
Tommy turns into a soldier and hits him with a fucking rifle. Damn it. Fuck, the meme fucked up my point.
Did you really have a point?
I have points. I'm like a triangle, not like a circle.
Yeah. Not like an alligator in a vest?
Excuse me.
No, yeah. And so here's the thing. I got to be an alligator in a vest to kind of figure out what I was trying to say.
Oh, look at me. Newfound knowledge.
See, look, I'm using this stuff. I'm so the smart. Fuck. God, I really didn't. I don't like. The episode was fine. I just didn't really like it.
I guess for me, it just feels like compared to what was it, 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of feels like a step down, which is weird because we are getting a lot more like the Joel and Ellie character growth, but like it just feels like so much less is happening.
Yeah.
Like those episodes were chock full of shit going on. And so this just feels like we're back to that, like where it was episode 3 was like slow as fuck and nothing was happening. And then it's like, okay, hey, we picked up with 4 and 5 and now we're back to that, hey, nothing is really happening again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping maybe 8 and 9 are chock full of goodies, but I mean, I don't know.
What did you think of Pedro Pascal's performance in this episode?
He was Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
I don't.
On a bed.
Yeah, I don't. I genuinely do not get it. I really don't understand what people see in him. I just don't. And maybe it's the fact that it's him, and it's the chick that plays Ellie. Like it's both of them. Maybe if it was just one or the other, I could kind of make peace with it. But because it's both of them that give me that vibe, it's like, ugh. It's so hard for me to get invested in either one of you as a character. Which sucks because I love Joel and Ellie as characters. Like, they are amazing.
This is how Pedro Pascal sleeps at night, knowing that you don't like him.
Yeah.
Well, and it was funny, like, at the very beginning of the episode, Rosemary walked in and she was just kind of looking at the screen, and his head was, like, tilted slightly to the side. She was like, oh, is that Nathan Fillion? I was like, no, that's Pedro Pascal. She goes, oh, okay.
God. Nathan Fillion as Joel. Fuck.
Would have been so much better.
Damn it.
Nathan Fillion
Shit,
is,
like, oh man.
hold
Oh
on,
no.
Nathan Fillion in a Naughty Dog production has always been like the good. Like, there's that Uncharted fan film. He does a great fucking Nathan Drake.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, oh man, that sucks. That sucks to know.
What could have been?
Because like that's the thing is like Troy Baker, like he just didn't have like the filling as like Joel, but no, Nathan Fillion has that like fucking body type. Like fuck.
Oh yeah,
Damn
absolutely.
it! Damn it! That's strong.
And he could have played that like alpha male without being like toxic. You know what I mean? Like he has that level of charm where women still like him.
Yeah.
And I feel like that would have conveyed a lot more of Joel than this fucking dude.
A little bit, yeah.
So it's just like, oh, okay. This is what we get.
This is good, yeah. And yeah.
Also, she's gonna fix him just by stitching up his tummy, and it's like,
no, assuming
yeah, so,
like in the game, he'll need medicine as well.
Well, no, that's another problem with the game.
that's not the issue. Yeah.
That's another problem with the game though, because the game.
Whether it's the rebar or the combat knife, either way, it's more than just the skin.
broken bat.
It was a broken bat. Which is worse actually because it's bigger.
Yeah,
Jagged wound.
yeah. Okay, either way, it's not good. Like
Also,
Yeah,
it's
well,
more
like
than
I
just
said-
I gotta sew up the tummy. It's like no, there's internals that have been very much damaged.
Yeah, like I said, it's slightly better than the rebar because the rebar straight up impaled him, and then he ran around killing shit for like another 10 minutes. So it's like, yeah, like I said, the game's not
Oh,
perfect.
I thought that was the end of the fight. Like he
No.
thought that he gets pushed out the
No,
window.
he
and
still
all
has to-
the-
No, there was
No,
There
they
were
gotta-
like 10 people that you have to kill, and you do it from like this really fucked up perspective where you're like kind of like leaning to the side because you know you're dying. But yeah, there is a whole combat section where you're dying as Joel after he got impaled and then ripped off of a piece of rebar.
Yeah, that's no good. Not
Yeah,
bad.
that's what I'm saying. Like the game is not.
I
fucking-
thought it was like she pulled him off the rebar and then basically got him off and they took off, but I mean,
No.
No.
Also, the thing with the broken bat, there might be some shrapnel still in there.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
But she's just gonna give him some stitches and he'll be right as rain.
Give him some stitches, and then later she's just gonna give him a piece of medicine, and he's just gonna be all right as rain. Because that's how it happened in the game. Because he's like falling apart, but he's like, "Oh, I took a pill, and now I'm all better."
No, Ellie gave me an
Oh,
injection right in my
antibiotics.
wound.
Oh wait, was it? I
Yeah,
thought
it was an
a pill?
injection. No, it was an injection.
It was an injection.
She
of
injected it right
stuff.
into the wound.
See, what you didn't know is that she had an injection of that shit from Halo. What was it, Metagel or whatever?
Biofoam.
Biofoam, yeah. Thank you. It's
gonna say
just the
Metagel
only
is Mass
other
Effect.
person who knows what that is.
Yeah.
I know what the biofoam is.
The way they
Yeah.
describe that in the books is fucking.
Weird.
It sounds terrible. Like ugh.
Yeah.
It would hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah, you're basically
and
having
actually, they do
insulation
show
shoved
it.
into you.
They do show it in the game too. They show it in ODST where like that guy gets hit in the
Sorry.
chest with a fucking hammer. So
Yeah,
they just,
with,
and he's just like,
Yeah,
ah!
with,
and he's got like shit coming out of his chest. It's like, oh man, you all right, Rome?
No.
Nolan, Nolan North, you doing okay, bud?
Nathan Fillion was in that game too.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion and Nolan North.
Yeah.
It's a smorgasbord of voice acting.
See.
well, the
Meant
funny
to
thing
be.
you mentioned ODST when it's like a good chunk of the ODST cast was Firefly people.
Really? Was the
Yeah,
other two guys
Wash.
Starfighter League?
Wash was Mickey, and who's the
Dutch.
one who carried Dutch was played by Jane.
Okay, shit, that's cool. Damn,
Lord,
mean,
I ain't a pilot.
Can I stop doing some flying today? Is that a
Amen.
yes or no? Damn it! Am I gonna watch Firefly just because of
Fucking
ODST?
should, dude. It's
Oh
so
man, no, no!
haven't
you
watched
sold
Firefly?
me. That's crazy. Just sold me on Firefly just
Dude,
with that.
Firefly is the shit, dude. It's one of the best
Yeah,
TV
let's watch
shows
some
ever
fucking
made.
Firefly tonight.
And I was about to say the ODST are like they're my favorite cast of like fucking losers. So
Dude, that show is so fucking good.
okay.
So
Yeah,
sad
and
that
the problem
that
is, I don't
Fox-
wanna- I don't want to be put on suicide watch with you motherfuckers when I get to the quote unquote end of the show.
You can watch the movie.
Yeah, I was gonna
It's-
say
I
we
heard
can
the
watch-
movie
watch
doesn't
Serenity.
count. Like, it's not that great.
no,
Like a leaf in the wind.
Serenity.
it's not as good as the show, but it's not the ending he had originally planned, but it is a ending.
It's the ending that he could make with the property that he was given. Like, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, with the resources he was given.
Fair enough.
You know how many shows have ended that way?
I know, but like I've heard nothing but praise, and like Max, you would love Firefly, and it's like I don't know. But like,
Yeah,
Just
the
the fact
show
that-
is the tits, dude. It's
like
so
but
good.
like see, like I'm saying, I get like an argument. It's like I should watch
Every
the show.
episode is a banger. Like that's the
Mhm.
thing. Like there are no
many
bad
episodes-
episodes of the
How
show.
many episodes are there?
It's like 10 or 12. Like
Yeah,
there's
we
not
could-
that
Really?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can almost.
Shut up! It's
We
not
can
that.
almost.
No.
You could knock it out in like a weekend, dude.
Damn.
We could knock it out in the rest of this day, honestly.
Yeah, you really
Maybe.
could. Like you could just knock it out if we binged it.
Damn. I might watch Firefly.
So that's
Next-
it with The
next-
Last of Us.
Yeah, next week.
yeah.
is-
Tune in next week,
for our Firefly coverage.
Again,
Yeah,
Fireflies.
Or maybe Sky
Oh,
High.
Firefly!
Oh, it's all connected.
There are Firefly.
Sky
people?
High, so down.
Yeah. We need to do
Yeah.
Sky High, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, we need to finish Baki.
We do.
Fuck, there's too much shit to watch.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, Last of Us. Yeah, it was gay, literally.
But it's
As
not
much
The
as I'm-
Last of Us.
Oh!
See what you did there. As much as I hate it, I would still recommend it to people. Like it's still pretty good overall. It's
yeah,
I'm just a
It's
hater.
worth experiencing.
the
Yes,
bloodshot.
it is.
The bloodshot daughter. She was really good in the episode as well. Like, like I said, her performance was pretty fun.
I will say, in terms of adapting it felt just as forced here as it did in the DLC.
Yeah.
The whole
Wait.
like them being like their relationship and all that, like just kind of
I
coming
will
out of
say-
nowhere.
They actually hinted at it slightly better with the looks
Yes.
here than they did in the game. So they
It's-
get one
One
They get one,
eco point.
but they lose it because of Mortal Kombat.
They do. Goddamn Mortal Kombat.
I
Imagine.
want Max to do like a review of just this episode, and it's just him spending like 40.
Like,
Hey, speaking
does
of
a
Mortal
solo.
Kombat, do you want a fun fact from Hollywood?
Sure.
Oh no.
The guy who played Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat was not in another movie until Death Race.
oh
So
That was his comeback.
yeah, because that's why they killed him off in the fucking second Annihilation movie.
Yep. And then he came back to be in Death Race,
Huh.
the good one,
Wait, which one?
the
Second.
only good one.
The second, the third one, or the fourth one?
It's the only good Death Race. There's
you mean
one.
the one from the 50s, right?
No.
Yeah, that one. Dude, that one's garbage.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, no, I've watched
That
those
one's
movies. They're
terrible.
fucking
No, yeah,
terrible.
I've seen Death Race. It's like
It's really
Death Race
bad, but kind of
2030
fun
or
to
something.
watch.
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun for like the piece, but like, man, it's like that's a movie like I'm probably never ever gonna see again.
Yeah, no, sadly, as weird as it is to say, the Jason Statham one is the only good one
Mm-hmm.
out of that entire franchise.
All right, let's calm down with the word you're using there. Like, good, like let's
Yeah,
chill.
dude, it's good compared to the other ones. I
That's
like it. It's fucking baller. Like, and Liu Kang being in it,
Yeah,
it's pretty dope.
14K. That's my name.
See, you want to watch it?
You know what? I did actually come to one more
And he
realization.
says fuck. He says fuck.
Like, what's your realization, Tanner?
You know, Ellie makes a lot of puns and dad jokes, but she isn't a dad. You could say she's a faux pas.
What?
Got him.
Ugh.
She's been